Hi guys and welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing what I think is the best deck in Clash Royale. This deck is known as Pekka Double Prince because it contains a Pekka and two Princes. Your two push options for this deck are Dark Prince and Prince. This is effective as Prince is a high damage single targeting unit and Dark Prince is an equally high damaging but multi-target unit, so that will be taking care of any of the skeleton armies or skeletons that your Prince might otherwise be vulnerable to. The other push for this deck is Pekka and Musketeer, but this should only be done if you have Zap in case your opponent decides to use Skarmy. And the minions, Goblin Barrel and Ice Spirit, are just cycle options for you to get your Pekka, Musketeer or Princes back in hand for any offensive or defensive use. I found Pekkas and Musketeers are also incredibly good on the defense. Now, without any further ado, let's get into this game so I can show you all how good this deck truly is. Now, we start off this game with a decently good hand. Let's play minions just to cycle that to see if we got Prince next. Unfortunately, we do not, but we do have Pekka and Musketeer, and if you remember, that's the second push option. The opponent just cycles that here. So I decide it's a good idea to go in for a push with the Pekka and the Musketeer. They respond with Wizard. I'm not too worried because a Musketeer can take out a Wizard without dying, and especially because my one's higher level. Now, my opponent here appears to be playing a Golem deck, so I'm very thankful I have Pekka in this deck to take care of the Golem. I'm not really worried about that. I'm just going to send a Goblin Barrel to cycle. It seems they have Log, which might be a bit of a problem in the future. So we just kind of let the Pekka and the Musketeer take care of that Golem. And unfortunately the Pekka doesn't connect to the cat tower, but the Musketeer gets one shot off. But now we've got Dark Prince and Prince in hand, which is our second push, and we've almost got enough elixir, and then we play them. Now, my opponent seems to be playing Golem with E-Barbs, and they play E-Barbs on the bridge there, but it doesn't stop the Prince. We're just going to cycle a Zap there to get Goblin Barrel back in hand, because I've got a feeling he's going to use Log. So we're going to Goblin Barrel that right tower. And the Prince gets a decent chunk of damage on that tower, and the opponent once again plays Zap against the Goblin Barrel, which is interesting because I thought they had Zap in hand. Now, we're just waiting for a bit more elixir here for our Pekka and Musketeer push, because it seems to be incredibly effective against their Golem. But what we turn into, it's like a weird standoff before he plays his Golem, and I in turn play my Pekka and put the Musketeer right behind him. The Musketeer is really good behind the Pekka just in case he's got any air targets, but it also adds a high DPS support. Stuff like skeletons doesn't really bother the Pekka when he's got a Musketeer behind it. Now, the opponent plays E-Barbs once more, but this time in front of the Golem against the Pekka. So I'm just going to play minions there to support the Pekka a little more because he looks like he's going to die to this E-Barb. Now I put down a Prince just to counter and finish up the Golem, and Dark Prince on the bridge, which is very lucky because it keeps the Wizard just out of the rage. Then we're going to support this Double Prince push with a Goblin Barrel, which he quickly uses a Log, gets amazing value for his Log there, and just plays an Ice Spirit to distract and take out my Prince. So then I'm trying to push this side because I see we only have 30 seconds left, so I put down a Pekka and a Musketeer, and we're going to see how that does. He plays E-Barbs once again, but the Pekka soon takes care of them, and now we've got Prince and Dark Prince in hand. As soon as that Wizard comes on the bridge, we're going to play Ice Spirit, and then he's got his Golem over there, but I'm not really worried about that. His Golem moved incredibly slow. Instead we're going to play a Goblin Barrel here, and he must not have Log in hand. Oh, he does, unfortunately for us, but it doesn't matter because our Prince gets 2 hits off there. So we win with a 1 crown win. Now, as you can see, our opponent was playing a Golem deck, but it doesn't matter. This deck will be good against any decks that you face up at the higher arenas, and it's also got cards in it that you can get at quite low arenas, so it works for all round. I've progressed up the arenas using this deck, and I'm sure you will too. If you enjoyed or gained something from this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.